Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be women are competitive for men. I've got an interesting email here. This is from a woman. I did a phone session with her, I think it's been about a year and a half ago, maybe longer, I can't remember. And I've done a bunch of email coaching on and off with her over the past year or so. And she always sends pretty interesting emails and situations that she comes up with. And she's got one here where she's got one of her girlfriends who is just ultra competitive, and she shares an experience that she had. She was out at a nightclub recently, and she met this guy that was really interested in her, and her girlfriend just basically came right over, clam slammed her, and literally within minutes was sitting in this guy's lap, who initially had approached her and was making, and in essence stole this guy away from her. And she's thinking, what the fuck? And they're supposed to be friends. It's like, with friends like this, who needs enemies? And a lot of women are like this. If they like the same guy, they've been best friends for life. They become fucking ruthless. They don't care. And so I got a quote that I wrote, and I'm going to go through the email. Because as a guy, I mean, it's a good thing when you have multiple women that are competing for you and want your attention. I mean, think about it. You've got 3 or 4 girls that all like you, and they want to go out with you, and it just brings that competitive nature out. They want to get you all to themselves. I had a girlfriend, one of the ones I wrote about in my book many years ago. It was funny when I first started dating her. A gal that used to work for me, she as a real estate agent and a mortgage broker, and she knew my girlfriend for many years before, when they used to work at Hooters together when they were in their early 20s. And I remember her saying, "You gotta watch out for her. She's like, you know, she's pretty ruthless. She would hit on other guys when she was with the guy. Even some of her girlfriend, a lot of the girls that worked with her didn't like her because she would flirt with their boyfriends. And you know, this girlfriend of mine was, man, fucking beautiful, sexy, feminine, she just oozed sex appeal. But she didn't have a lot of integrity, and she was the kind of girl that, as long as she was happy, she'd be loyal. But if she wasn't happy, she started looking around, and she started inviting the attention of other guys. And I learned the hard way that that's just it's not a good thing. I mean, obviously, if I met somebody like that today, and I was still single, I'd know better. I'd know to never get involved. I might date him for a while and hook up and have some fun for a while, but I'm never going to make the mistake of getting into a relationship with somebody like that, because that's the way they are. Unless I decided to have an open relationship or something like that with them. But, you know, as I talk about in my book, I'm a one-woman kind of guy. I like exclusive relationships. I really enjoy that. You know, but like I said, different strokes for different folks. It's amazing. It's just like over the course of your life, the more relationships you have and the more people you date, the more experience you get. And I mean, I think it's cool. It's like someday when I'm on my deathbed, I'm going to be looking back at my life with a big fucking smile on my face. Like, wow, all these fucking great experiences, all these great, amazing women in the course of my life. It's like, what an honor. What a gift. What a variety. It's fucking beautiful. Because most people are on their deathbed. They spent their whole lives with the same person, and they were never really that happy. And fuck, life's too short, man. We're all meant to enjoy it and have a great time. So the quote that I wrote says, "Some women can be very ruthless and competitive when they like the same guy as one of their girlfriends. They often will ruin a friendship and screw each other over in their attempt to win the same guy. They also can be so devious that they will seduce and sleep with their girlfriend's boyfriends or husbands. Since women tend to be emotional beings, weaker women who lack integrity will become run by their emotions without thinking about who they are hurting or screwing over in the process. Men should avoid women who behave this way because it reveals larger character flaws." Hey, fucking men to that. I learned that the hard way. Women should avoid and permanently end friendships with other women who exhibit these behaviors or treat them this way. And that's why I would definitely suggest for this client that I've coached on and off for the past year or so, that she needs to hit the fucking delete button on her phone for this chick, because she's a jackass. She says, "Hey Corey, thanks for answering my last email. It really helped. One of my sisters made a comment, and I said, Until you can offer a solution instead of your commentary, I suggest you stick to your day job. Ooh, nice one. I answered an email, I don't know, a couple months ago, and she basically had everybody in her families telling her, because she's like the only one that's still single, and I think she's in her early 30s. Very beautiful girl, very charming. And all of her sisters, they're all married, and a couple of them have been with the same guy since they were teenagers, and yet they're all trying to tell her how she needs to be more like them, and, oh, you're too picky, you're too this, you're too that. And I basically suggested how she really needs to respond to them, which I think that's a great comeback. Until you can offer a solution instead of your commentary, I suggest you stick to your day job. I haven't heard from the peanut gallery since. Isn't it amazing how you stand up for yourself and then they shuts them the fuck up? Sometimes you got to do it. I have a new problem for you. As I know, you like to problem solve. Well, I'm an engineer by trade, so I take shit apart. That's one of the reasons I look at why I got into what I'm doing is like I look at things like that. I take shit apart. I would analyze it. When I was learning this stuff years ago, I'd go out at bars, nightclubs, and I would just be observing the room, watching the body language, listening, eavesdropping in the conversations, and just testing out all of it. And sometimes I would say shit just to be outrageous to see what kind of a reaction I would get in women. And like my friends thought I was nuts, but I was like a scientist about it. I was really trying to add a little bit of this, add a little bit of that. It's like kind of like baking a cake or something. Figure out the right formula, right recipe. I've been having some issues with a friend of mine. A few months ago, she started to make little digs at me in public. Sounds like she's a little jealous, a little envious. A real friend is going to lift you up, is going to support you and nurture you and have good positive things. And I used to tolerate people like this in my life when I was younger. I don't anymore. If you don't have anything positive or uplifting to say, you're going to be getting deleted right from my life really fucking fast. FYI, I get more attention than her when we go out. She's been doing it more and more lately, and I thought ignoring it would make her stop until recently her behavior escalated. We went out to a crowded bar, and a guy waved me over to his table. He was obviously interested in me, and his friends were talking him up to me, and my friend was silent the whole time like a little bitter Betty. Bitter Betty, I haven't heard that one before. She only chirped up when she found out what she did for a living, or what he did for a living, and that he drove a nice car. Oh, she sounds really fucking shallow. Oh, you have one of those. Ooh. Everyone in town drives a nice car. I couldn't figure out what her deal was. Well, I can tell you, she ain't a friend. She's shallow, and I would never hang out with somebody like that ever again. Fuck her. After that, she was all over him and was convinced he was famous. What a nice friend. Guy invites you over, and she just fucking clam slams you and jumps right in front of you like that. Oh, but hey, we're friends. We share everything. Sisters for life. She came on so strong to this guy, I was like, wow. If it were reversed, I'd never hear the end of this. Later, she was making out with him, and then when she wasn't looking, he was all over me, so I told him, I don't compete for men. I don't have to. Ooh, nice. Like that comeback. He said, it's no competition. Why do you think I waved you over to my table? And she says, smooth talker. Like, yeah, but you were still sucking face with my friend and allowed that to happen. At the end of the night, I was so disgusted with the way my friend behaved, I felt like I didn't know her. You're actually getting to see what she's really like, and she's a person with zero fucking integrity, and she has zero reasons to be in your life anymore after this. Then what really pissed me off was she admitted that he wasn't her type at all. No, bitch, he's my type, but you knew that, and she wasn't attracted to him. He was like a knight. It's obvious she's jealous and she's envious of you. That's the kind of friend that when you're not around, she's talking shit about you behind your back. It's like she thinks high school is still happening, even though I would assume if your friend's your age, she's probably in her late 20s, early 30s. So she hasn't fucking grown up yet. Ants are attracted. Women approached him all night. She said to me later, I've never had that happen. He must be famous. I said, no, that only happens with alpha men, idiot. I'm not upset about the guy. There's always another. I'm just so disturbed that I have a friend who is so influenced by status and material things. Again, stop referring to her as your friend. She ain't no friend. She's an acquaintance. I think she feels entitled to do whatever she wants, but because I have more options than her, so I can take a back seat. My sister thinks she uses me to meet men. I'd say that's probably a good assessment. Which after this, I'd have to agree. We can't ever just go to a nice bar to have a drink because there are no men there. It's all about her entertainment. You're starting to stand up for yourself in your personal life and your family. You need to do it with your friends. And she used to be a friend. She's now lost that privilege. Yeah, that's just my opinion. I wouldn't put up with this shit. Every time I feel drained after seeing her, I'd like to know what you think. Well, she sounds like a big fucking energy vampire. Why would you want to go out with her at all? I feel drained after seeing her. So if you're looking at like an accounting ledger with debits and credits into it, and you're on the left or the right column, there's obviously a lot more minuses in what she brings to your life, and I don't see any pluses. You have somebody to accompany you, but you're a pretty girl, so you should be going out by yourself if you want to just go out and have a good time. It doesn't sound like you have any problem meeting men. If you're beautiful, it's like you're going to get approached, so why would you want to go out with somebody like this who's going to clam slam you, cock block you, get in the way, piss you off, drain you, disrespect you like this? Next time she calls, just say, oh, I'm real busy, sorry, can't make it, maybe some other time, and then you go out. And if you run into her, and she's like, hey, I called you, why'd you tell me you couldn't go out? Oh, well, I changed my mind at the last minute. Hey, how are you? Why don't you buy me a drink? It'd make up for the fact that you tried to steal that guy away from me last time. Fucking jackass. That's what I just would not put up with shit like that. You're too good a person. It's like, stop being nice, because you're just... Remember, no one will ever do or say anything to you that you don't invite them to do. And by you hanging out with her and tolerating this bullshit, you're inviting her to continue doing it. So put it into it. And next time she calls you, just be busy. Say, nah. Just say, I think you're a great person, but we can't be friends anymore. Oh, why? Because I don't like how you treat me. You're fucking shallow. You try to steal guys away. No, thanks. That's not... every time I go out with you, I feel drained. And you just don't have any integrity, and that doesn't work for me. So I wish you all the best. Hugs, kisses, bye-bye. You know, that's why I'm a fucker, man. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone, Skype, or email coaching session. You can choose any of those options by going to my website, clicking the products tab at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions for booking whichever option works best for you. And I will talk to you soon.